When your girlfriend or wife has no desire for sex, then you need to do these 5 things. I was married before 20 years, and most of those years I was in a sexless marriage. Shame on me for that. But what I've learned is I've learned that women weaponize sex. Sex is men's number one weakness, but there's things you can do about it. So in this video, like I mentioned, I'm going to reveal the 5 things you can do when your girlfriend or your wife is rejecting you, emasculating you, and has so-called no desire for sex. So keep watching because this is going to be a good one. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and a notification button because I'm dropping videos every week. All right, let's get into this, man. So I understand what you're going through. And I also understand, especially in a marriage, and I also understand when you start dating someone and she's pulling away. She's now no longer has desire for sex, and there's all these fucking excuses for it, okay? Quick story. Just recently, I was in the garage working on my electric scooter. I have a really fast electric scooter, like the ones you can rent, but mine's a Hellcat. It can go 90 miles an hour, and I'm standing on this thing. 33,000 watts, 45 horsepower. It's awesome. Imagine this, 45 horsepower on a 120-pound machine. It's insane. But anyways, doing some repairs with a couple buddies. And one of the guys that was there, he starts sharing his story with a woman that came by who's an executive at a hospital. And he's saying, well, he's married. And he's saying, well, my wife doesn't really want to have sex anymore. And he's rhyming off all these reasons why that she doesn't want to have sex, or what she says she doesn't want to have, why she doesn't want to have sex. Well, the woman, by the way, do not take any advice from women on this topic because they don't know shit. And that's what I'm going to get into. So, but before that, I want to finish the story. So the hospital executive starts saying, well, you know, have you tried this? Have you tried saying this? Have you tried this, whatever? Well, at the end of the day, when she's no longer having sex, she no longer wants to have sex. She's rejecting you. She's checked out. But there's things you can do to potentially save the situation. And I'm going to get into my number one favorite thing to do. And this is best when you're dating. Not necessarily, it's almost too late when you're married. But I'm going to go into things you can do when you're married. But this one specifically, you're dating. And women will test you. They will test you. This is a shit test. They want to see how much they can get away with. So it starts off all great. The sex is fantastic, and it starts to dwindle down. She starts to reject you here and there, okay? And I'm going to give some context on this one. So the number one thing that you need to do when she starts rejecting she starts rejecting you for sex is to punish her bad behavior. And let me clarify this one. When I say punish her bad behavior, I'm not talking physically. I'm talking about checking this behavior with your words and with your actions, all right? So this is how it goes. Let's just say she starts rejecting your touch. You tried to hold her hand, you tried to put your arm around her, and she's like shrugs her shoulder. She doesn't want to hold hands, but yet she was okay with it before. This is what I'm talking about, right? She's never in the mood for sex. She's always tired. So this is what you do, okay? When and again, this is the context here is you put your arm around her, she shrugs her shoulder. You go to hold her hand, she pulls her hand away, right? Or it's been a few days because it's, again, situational. Sometimes it does make sense that she's tired. You both have early mornings. You have to wake up early in the morning for your job, whatever, okay? But let's talk about the shrugging of the shoulder or the holding of the hand, and she outright rejects you, right? Well, then the first thing you could say is like, why are you being a jerk? You could say that to her, and she'll go, what? What do you mean? You could say, well, you're being a jerk right now. Why are you rejecting me touching your shoulder or holding your hand? And she's going to give some fucking lame excuse. And then you could say, look, I don't appreciate that, and clearly the vibe is off. Do you want me to get you an Uber home? As an example, that is one way you can punish her behavior, is to say, look, the vibe is off. Why don't I get you an Uber home? She's going to start to lose her shit. She's going to start to get angry at you. You just keep her calm. And then she's going to say, what do you mean? And I'll say, look, I don't appreciate you rejecting me. I'm not doing anything other than just trying to be affectionate. And guess what? She will ultimately, because you hold firm on what you just said, that the vibe is off, do you want me to get you Uber home? And she will now let you put your arm around her shoulder or her hand. If she says, well, anything, if she says anything like this, well, then deal with it. Or, well, that's not my problem. Get her Uber, send her home, because that's what I'm talking about in terms of bad behavior. What you're looking for is you're looking for her to react, try to figure out what the hell is going on here, and then allow you now to put your arm around her or hold her hand, okay? Now, to the sex part. If, let's say, she rejects you that one evening and okay, fair, she's got to get up early and she is tired. This happens or whatever, right? Then you say, okay, well, can we do something in the morning or in tomorrow night? Almost every woman will agree to it and say, okay, sure. So now the next morning or the next night rolls around and she says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm tired again. Okay, three strikes, that's what you're looking for. So now you go to make a move the next day. And the whole thing, 3 strikes, you're out. Well, the next day she rejects you again. You say the same thing. Look, you're being a jerk. So why don't I get you an Uber home? Or if this is the case with your wife, you say you're being the jerk, so I'm going to go sleep on the couch. And you might be thinking, well, Silver Bachelor, why would a king leave his own bed? Okay. Now, what you're looking for is you're looking for her to react kind of like I said earlier, and that she says, what? My God, what do you mean you're going to go on the couch? Like, what's going on or whatever? And then you say, well, look, this is 3 times now that I've asked you for some intimacy and you've rejected me every single time, and that's not cool. If instead she has this attitude of, okay, fine, take the couch. Okay, well, you take the couch, but now you have to escalate it. And you could say, okay, not only am I taking the couch, the next day you say, I'm going to go and sleep at my friend's house for a couple days. Again, you at this point, you have to let her know that you will not tolerate consistent rejection and you're willing to leave. That's the whole point. You're willing to leave. And I'm sorry, guys, that this is going to be a hard one, right? You're hearing this. It's going to be hard when you're married, especially if she has this I don't give a fuck attitude. If she has this attitude of, okay, fine, go leave, go take the couch, it's time for a divorce. It's time to leave her, okay? And I'm sorry to say it like that. I wish I did that, but I didn't. I hung on for an extra, basically 16 years, because that's what started happening in year 4, right? You basically need to sit her down and say, I will not tolerate this behavior. And because there's no reason for it, she's going to come up with all these excuses. Now, maybe you are kind of a shitty guy, but most guys are good guys. Most guys are good men. Most guys are paying the bills. They're working multiple jobs, and they're just trying to make ends meet. They're trying to do what they can, right? And she's going to come up with all these damn reasons why it's your fault, because women are the masters at gaslighting and putting it on you and making it your fault. That's why there's no intimacy. When at the end of the day, nope, the women are weaponizing sex. Just remember that. Women weaponize sex even in dating. Guys, I haven't dated a single woman over the last 3 years that didn't try to weaponize sex with me. I don't tolerate that shit anymore. I don't. And when I nip it at the ass and I say, look, you're being a jerk. Maybe it's time. Maybe the vibe is off. I'm going to get you an Uber home. Or I'm going to take the couch or whatever. They turn around. They stop doing that behavior. And if they don't care, I'm out. Okay? So that's what I'm going to encourage you guys to do as well. And that's number 1. I know this took a long time, but this is important for me to share. And I got a few more things. So I got 2, 3, 4, and 5 that I want to cover. Number 2, this is now when you're dating or you're in a marriage, is you, like I said before, number 2, you have to accept that she's checked out of the relationship. The biggest telltale sign that she's checked out of the relationship is when the kissing changes. When the kissing changes, That means you're no longer using tongue, you're not French kissing, you're not kissing intimately. It's nothing more than just a peck on the lips. It's done. She's checked out. There's no recovery from that, okay? There's no couples therapy. I'm just letting you know. Number 3, ask her why she's no longer interested in sex. But here's the thing. When you ask your wife or your girlfriend why is she no longer interested in sex, she's just going to give you excuses. She's not going to actually tell you she's not into you anymore. So, but it'd just be interesting for you to ask her that and hear the excuses, okay? Number 4, that you have to accept this. If your girlfriend or wife is constantly rejecting you with sex, it's because she sees you as a beta male. And the reason why she sees you as a beta male is because you're tolerating this bad behavior. I say it's bad behavior because women weaponize sex. They know it's men's biggest weakness, and they will weaponize sex when you're dating and when you're married, and because that's what they know that they can get away with most men. And so she will see you as a beta male. And last but not least is you need to start planning your exit. If she's not changing, right, the punishing her bad behavior doesn't work, then, and the kissing hasn't changed, she's checked out, it's over. You're causing yourself a very slow, agonizing death. It's time for divorce. It's time for you to exit the relationship and plan accordingly. All right. Thanks for watching so far, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments if you've gone through all of this, how you've recovered, how you've maybe saved the relationship if you did, but most importantly, what did you do when she started rejecting you with sex? All right. We'll see you next time.